Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast with me, host Imperial Dane, the one, the only, master propaganda hero / defender of the fatherland, except no substitutes. Off here to a 1v1 on Faymonville Approach in the north is Spaget Man, a man who likes to consume spaghetti, I assume. Fighting for the German army, Deutschland, the Oberkommando West, here with the 17th SS Panzergrenadier Division Götz von Berlichingen with Luftwaffe Ground Forces, Grand Offensive and Special Operations, and south it is F3rig, fighting for America, freedom, democracy. Here with the 2nd Rifle Division, tasked with breaking through the lines here and make his way onwards towards, well, deeper in France here, with Urban Assault, featuring Urban Assault equipment, Sherman Assault kits, Rangers, cover to cover, and the M4 Sherman Calliopes, Baguette Man with Luftwaffe Ground Forces, Grand Offensive and Special Operations. A full going to do cool stand for him. Versus the Route Squad here for F3rig. And as always, a big hearty thanks to my page supporters. Without them and their handsome contributions, the Propagandacast would definitely be struggling a lot more than it is. So big thanks to all those other people who join the ranks, support the effort by pledging on Patreon or donate via PayPal. Links in the description. First fight here, by the way. Sturmpenis is slightly caught in awkward position. Cool button rushing in. And you can also pre-order Company 3 for the link in the comments. If you want to support that way as well, just playing pre-ordering, of course. Use the code F3rig then on top of that, and I get a cut of the sale. But yeah, anyways, let's get over to the fighting here. A lot of stuff going on here. Pretty aggressive fighting here. Part I call this, that Faymonville map approach, is actually a much more narrow map than like most other 1v1 maps, so fighting can happen a lot faster compared to, say, Amelie Fields. It also means as a map where just plopping down some material in the right place can be really obnoxious, like, you know, mortars or, say, mortar emplacements. Third route squad for F3rig. The route squad suffered heavily from the Sturmpionier and the Kugelwagen backing them up here. Raiders there holding up the line up north. Here we got the Fulkers with the Rav Squad here. Third Rav Squad almost done. As for Sturmpionier with the Sturmgewehrs, I actually don't know if that actually happened. Interestingly enough. At least I've seen no evidence of it so far, at least from the readings. I know there were, in a sense, Sturmgrenadier, you know, assault troops there, you know, after a certain point of the war, you know, with assault rifle formations, like for the Volksgrenadiers and certain Panzergrenadier units, but I don't know if Pioneer units were actually like heavy recipients of assault rifles. You kind of figure so, but I don't actually know they were. So it's a bit of an interesting note there. Third Volksgrenadier on the way there for Spaget Man. Sandbags up here. Route Squad moving up north. Troops are moving towards the center here. Volksgrenadier Captain Route Squad up here. More troops moving in there. So a lot of aggressive maneuvering between Spaget Man and F3rig. Always nice to see. Certainly my favorite kind of gameplay is maneuver heavy gameplay. Sturmpionier moving up here. And of course, again, part of this is just to like set up yourself for the way you can sort of engage the opponent best without suffering needless casualties. Right here, for example, is a great engagement for F3rig. He's in heavy cover. His opponent isn't. Close range also favors the rifleman significantly over the Volksgrenadiers. There we go. Spaget Man there suffering rather atrocious losses. He's also flanked up here, which is honestly a bit risky, considering this means his retreat path risks, you know, being quite exposed to, like, you know, a lot of damage. So well, I certainly would say it's bold. It's also risky considering the low health state of the Sturmpionier here from Spaget Man. Very risky. But there you go. He's kind of making work out backed up with the Kugelwagen here. Again, bold, but actually workable move there. Definitely not what I recommend for the average player. It certainly takes some really sharp tactical sense to pull that off. You can see, in fact, now it's F3rig against between the Sturmpionier and managed to hit the carve point here. Lieutenant on the way to F3rig, freedom and democracy. Kugelwagen in hot pursuit, full kills, close to veterans who won. The 17th SS, Götz von Berlichingen, was a, well, SS Panzer division, mostly made up of ethnic Germans from Hungary and Romania. It was also a division that in most cases actually didn't have a lot of training. Some elements of the division actually only had weeks of training before the invasion of Normandy kicked off, so it was a division that also struggled a bit with cohesion. In fact, the Wehrmacht seems to have actually reinforced it with elements from the 9th and 10th SS Panzer Division, specifically the reconnaissance units, to basically bulk up the division in a sense. So it's sort of an interesting story there. Also, funnily enough, the division didn't have enough trucks, so several of its battalions were actually mounted on bicycles, which is, you know, typically not what you associate the German army with, and so not, you know, the vaunted Waffen-SS, but yeah, you had several Waffen-SS Panzergrenadier units just mounted on bicycles. Close to the Rav Squad here, though. We're trying to outmaneuver here with some good infantry maneuvering there. Kugelwagen gaining veterans one here. Spec Ops there's also an choice, might see the officer, but also Volksgrenadiers definitely synergize well with the infiltration tactics, since they can chuck a full 5 grenades for then 20 munitions. That is pretty good value. F3rig with Lieutenant, no 50 cals yet. Going for the mechanized command post first. Could even be planning to rush at the M28 with pressure on Spaget Man. We'll have to see. Sandbags by the fuel point. Ralph Squad push back there. And we got the mechanized regiment up for him. Might be a Lux or a Puma here. Around the point here. Ambulance almost done for F3rig. Sturm Puny advancing. Mechanized regiment almost done. Rough grenades up there for F3rig. Got the ambulance being forged there. And we got the Sturm officer out here for Spaget Man. Ready to lead his men to greater glory. From a safe distance, occasionally. Sandbags up here. We can see Spaget Man is quick to take advantage of F3rig's downtime here to just fortify key points. That's going to force F3rig, I think, to have to swing through the south here, possibly, which still means you need to fight around the cutoff point here. He could still try and attack through here, but I think that's going to be quite expensive. He's would be better off going for a deeper flank through the, backyard here, swing up behind, run the tank forwards here. But so far, of course, that requires F3rig knows again the Germans dug in, and that does require again he has to get some of his men shot there. So, nice out there by Spaget Man. We'll have to see again how F3rig decides to play around. Again, looks like it will be a move towards the center south, but that means, of course, now Spaget Man's going to counterattack here. F3rig, time down. That's it, not the best attack angle. There we go, concussive grenade right into the mix of Rifle Squad there. Really great throw there for Spaget Man. Really catches F3rig there in a bad position, but ultimately does manage to turn around here. Spaget Man wasn't quite fast enough to really exploit this. No something else there going on. Guessing it's a Stuart light tank here, officer there versus the Reasons in the south here. Backed off here, already up north here, intense fighting. We got Molotovs here being unleashed on the Germans. I think it was the Germans. There go Puma for Spaget Man. Obviously thinking he's going to be hit by some kind of light vehicle, like a Stuart light tank. He moves in the Puma to cut that off. Would then, of course, been sent in from either the 2nd SS Panzer Division or the Panzerlehr, since only those two divisions in Normandy acted access to the Puma, as they were not exactly made in great numbers. Reinforcing here, healing up as well. M20 utility car halfway done. Backing off with the Kubelwagen. There you go, 234-2 heavy armored car out there. There's a total of 4 versions based off the chassis. You had the -1, which had a gun similar to that with the 2-2. You had the -2 like the Puma. -3 was a 75mm cannon like the Stug E. And then finally had the -4, which had a Pak 40 mounted on it, basically turning into like, a Marder in a sense. So, little fun fact there. M20 rushing in the Sturm officer, pushing him back there. And of course, M20 then straight into the Puma. Puma misses on the first shot up north. The aggressive push against the Kubak up north, trying to regain northern fuel point. M20 just rushing ahead here. Spaget Man clearly concerned about what this could mean. Backs off with the Puma. Wary of a possible American trap here. Fult's going to be moving forward with the Sturmgewehrs. Ralph Squad falling back. Kubelwagen straight into the bazooka here. Good shot from the lieutenant there on the Kubelwagen. Almost got the northern fuel point. Fultz was on the car upon it. Puma racing force as well there for Spaget Man. I'm trying to find where the Puma shoots, misses again. That is a terrible hit rate on the Puma so far. We turn the router here by Spaget Man's Furious Infantry. Grenades off here. And we got a grenades on the treat unit. Oh! Nice attempt. He didn't quite pan out there for Spaget Man. They still got a kill on the squad. Fuel point recapture in the south for Spaget Man and the German Reich. Trying to find way here. F3rig definitely feeling the brunt here of Spaget Man's Teutonic Fury. Puma moving up here. Afghan has been unleashed. Pushed off the carve point. Narrowly keeping his fuel point connected here as Spaget Man launches in more troops to gain the fuel point back here from the armies. Trotting away with the Spaget Man. Guessing a schwerer Panzerhauptquartier here as F3rig is just frantically trying to get back on the field. There you go. 5th cal on the way there. Definitely be a crucial tool to contain the German infantry menace. Return there, reinforcing healing. M20 being fixed up in the south here. Ralph Squad catching here. Spaget Man's full scrum deal by the southern victory point. The Sturm Pioneer here are also forced off the field point. A lot of close calls in there. Go rifling on the officer. Doing some damage here. Got the Puma sniping away there from a very safe distance. Now the rifle grenade off here on the Sturm Officer. Kills the officer himself. Oh, actually not the officer. I guess someone went, "Look out, Herr Officer!" and then got his, face blown in. My God! I didn't even know his name! That was Otto! You've been anointing him since, 1939? Really? Yeah! Oh, well, Good work, Otto. 5th kill on the way there for F3rig. Battle headquarters up there for Spaget Man. Interesting. That actually feels like a more callback to older Obo Commandos build orders, particularly with Spec Ops here. This only means that F3rig isn't under immediate pressure to have to worry about Orbis Alert and fast armor, so that's a small bit of relief for F3rig. Also nice getting back more map control here. The, you know, 50 cals are going to be making it much harder for Spagetman now to get back on the field here. He lacks any artillery, though, of course, with the value of headquarters, he could go for a light infantry gun or two. Up north, another push here from the northern field point, another raid here by Deutschland and the 17th SS. Interesting enough, they actually want to call the division the Charlemagne Division first, but the French Waffen-SS unit actually wanted that name because, you know, that was kind of their guy, so they had to figure out another name, so they went for Guts von Belichingen, named after a medieval mercenary commander. He was also kind of a bit of a robber baron and a thug. Really like to hit people, by the way, with his very heavy crossbows, it turns out. Rifle grenade in the reactions there, 5th cal backing it up there. Jürgen there drops dead. And a look snap for Spagetman. That is a very interesting build order here from Spagetman in terms of all Commandos builders. I mean, Luke's Puma, not super uncommon, but the way like he's chaining it together is definitely a bit unusual here. But again, unusual doesn't have to mean bad. There's definitely a tendency for some places to assume unusual means bad, but not by a long shot as far as I'm concerned. So, very interesting here. And certainly F3rig is also, you know, not quite taking the same path as you'd see most American players either. We got another grenade assault here, lunging a large quantity of steel hand grenade there. Storm of Zemmeringer. North here, fighting here from the northern field point is going slow in the favor of F3rig and the 2nd Infantry. Luke's almost done here for the Spagetman. Got the southern point here. Go. Kubanking southwards here. Off goes the Kugelwagen. As a fun fact, the Schwimmwagen, the, shall I say, you know, the watered, the one that could go water there, I can't quite remember the name for it, the fancy name for it, and it's like, you know, was actually quite popular with the Waffen-SS. So, fun fact there. Fun fact. To queuing about here. No, oh, never mind. We do have M6 anti-tank mounts of F3rig. 2 thumbs up. That's definitely an overlooked one there. North here, 5th cal on watch here. Ground northern victory point there for freedom and democracy. Captain here for F3rig. Interesting enough, we're not seeing the major here, but I'm guessing, you know, he just wants the entertain to help lock down Spagetman stuff first, but also he's probably concerned about what might be coming next. He's probably not got entirely good ideas to how, like, you know, fast Spagetman might be throwing tanks at him, so you're having the captain and some anti-tank guns out is, in that regard, I think, a very safe choice here from F3rig. Is he also laying down regular mines? No. Sometimes, like, you know, look at, like, something that looks like, you know, mine, but in reality it's just, like, some just random crap. There you go, captain out there for F3rig, adding the BAR. North here follows the 5th cal there, anti-tank gun on the way for F3rig, freedom and democracy. 5th cal bombarded here by the light infantry Geschütz, so yeah, Spagetman did in fact break artillery. Thumbs up there. I mean, you know, in 1v1 in general, you just want some light artillery, but I would say particular map like Faymonville Approach really benefits from like mortars or light infantry guns. And certainly from F3rig, bringing in a mortar of his own would also be a sterling idea there. Versus F3rig, honestly. Of course, having access to rifle grenades slightly, you know, works like that, but it's obviously no winner. So there we go. Puma hits the mine and goes up in flames. Brutal. But on the other hand, Spagetman gets his hands on the 50 cal. That is not quite as great there for F3rig, and then again, getting rid of the Puma still helps a ton, make no mistake. And in fact, Spagetman is committing to another Puma. That is definitely rare. Got the anti-tank out here. He still would benefit a lot from a mortar or a pack howitzer, obviously, as he's got the captain here. Pack howitzer would also be excellent for a map like this. Again, the key element is just some kind of artillery that can just keep up pressure here on the opponent. Make it have them just, you know, sit down and have a nice cup of tea. 4 kills in the light infantry gunshots I've seen so far. Almost got the Sturm Officer getting wiped 100% be helpful here for F3rig, Freedom and Democracy, but no, falls a bit short there with the full Murderers Monty. Take up soon though, or at least again bring out some artillery and then take up. Yeah, the second Puma's out there for Spaget Man, definitely a rarer sight there. Couldn't be against the full gunners there. Puma shoots, whiffs. Good hit by taking down the Puma. Rifle grenades here. As you might notice again, not quite a mortar, but does have that same ability, like, you know, from a reasonable distance, like, you know, dig infantry out from, like, you know, dug in position. Puma's about to get the M20 here. Another whiff there, another grenade assault. Like Spaget Man to use that ability, tends to get fairly overlooked there when German players do go for the commander, or any commander with that ability, but it is quite good in my opinion. Heading straight for the fuel point there. Fair, of course, looking to gain a fuel lead and, of course, deny Spaget Man as much fuel as possible. Very sensible. Looks moving forward here for Deutschland. Nothing further going for F3rig as of yet. No weapon racks, no grenades, no sign of any further armor. Maybe he's going to go for the Calliope, I suppose. Sturm obviously charging here at their Vecchi 2, which also comes up for a 5th member to the team. Molotov's off here. Grenade assault here going a bit haywire there, not quite popping all the grenades here in the south. Looks here as the RAF squad. Gonna get hit by an anti-tank RAF grenade there. Engine there blown out. A lot of action here. It's neither F3rig or Spaget Man are clearly, you know, the big defensive players. These are both aggressive attackers who keep up pressure, which is always a lot more exciting to watch, honestly, in my opinion. Back here, trip reinforcing healing still attack for F3rig. So Spaget Man, no sign of immediate, so I would say tankage besides that of a looks. Almost the M20. Pausing that one to disengage again there. Good big assault here. Grenade assault again. Just constant use of that ability. Very nice. This again makes it harder again for F3rig to just, you know, dig in for long. The light infantry gun, I think, is further adding pressure to F3rig with just, you know, the threat of artillery here. I'm to see how F3rig intends to overcome Spaget Man's, you know, constant chucking of high explosives. Because one rifle grenade launcher is not going to be able to match, you know, all of these grenades plus the light infantry gun. It's going to be a bit optimistic. Got the M20 there finally. A small win there for Spaget Man. But of course, still retains a pretty sizable, you know, light vehicular element there. It is pretty rare to see, you know, this much. But again, used correctly, it can react some pressure to the opponent and actually make it happen to go for the medium armor safely here. Do get the battalion command post here for F3rig now. We'll be imagining for tanks here versus Spaget Man and the 17th SS. It covers the full grenadiers. Ralph Squad pinned down by the M50 cal there under Spaget Man's command. They'll find the 50 cal there. The Kedmare for their life for Spaget Man. Whom are being fixed up. Do we have repair pioneers? We do not. Play in the center here. Goddamn, Carl! Aim straight. I am aiming straight. God damn, you're not aiming straight. Storm zooming forwards. Trotting away the Spaget Man. Silly fire there kills Carl. Definitely wasn't aiming straight. Anyway, Sturmov's there. Pops some forced retreat there, trying to push back those Yankees. Nice use of the officer's ability in general there, I guess. Thumbs up. We get into like Destiny 5, the Sturm officer becomes really good because he gets an assault rifle, which combined with all the bonuses the unit gets really can make, you know, that unit hit really hard. So yeah, taking up there himself, major out there for F3rig. Second infantry is one being pushed back here by the 17th SS. As Spaget Man mobilizes the 2nd SS Panzer Grenadier Company for another offensive. North, we've got the major best of the 50 cal there. Could go for Sherman soon and equip it with the Bullseye Blade to make something a bit tougher there. artillery unleashed by the Major. It's not really hitting anything. Great for Spaget, man, but certainly adding a drain that affects munitions economy, which you can't really afford. Grenade assaulting the advancing Americans. He's also like really insistent taking this path. We're not even seeing like a small detour here. Lost the Major. South here could maybe get a Molotov on the Germans. Could burn off his Spaget man's full screens if he's not paying attention. Sherman there for F3rig as expected. Looks being 40 can hit an anti-tank rifle. Anti-tank gun there, not within range. There we go. Damaging the engine there of Spaget looks like tank. Puma there heavily damaged. And got a wipe there in the south here. Spaget man there overextended mentally. Starts to lose infantry versus the Americans. F3rig I still think could also benefit maybe some Rangers. On top, of course, the light artillery, though at this point he does have to make some priorities. And I would initially definitely recommend, you know, a mortar or pack house or like another squad here, since yours got 5. So less necessity of the Rangers squad. But if you suffers a wipe there, I would recommend Rangers. But for now, either mortar or pack house, again, either would do him good. Nice use of smoke here, by the way. Thumbs up to Spaget man. Also, good work keeping that cool running alive for that long. Very good work. But there goes Sherman out. At the Bulldozer Blade and the 50 cal there. Bulldozer Blade is primarily used to increase the health and armor, making it tougher. It can also do other stuff, but most players now make use of that. Right, we're heading for the Southern Victory Point here. Definitely, obviously, Sherman and makes it, you know, pretty good in that sense. It gets armor rough compared to that, you know, Victory 2 Panther 4, but at the same time gives it more health. While also costing less than the Panther 4 model year in the process. That's a pretty good upgrade. On the utility with the Bulldozer Blade, you never really see uses. On top of that, they also get access to the white phosphorus shell, so 5th car rushing in there. Oh, he's actually using cover to cover there. That's pretty cool. There we go on the 5th car there on the Germans. Grenades on the 5th car there, though. Grenades all over the place. They're almost wiping F3rig's machine crew there, leaving only Bob alive. Bazooka, Rearsons, they keep firing round grenades up. They're up north here. Assault going south here as the officer just chucks a lot of grenades here. Again, really great consider to use the grenade assault. He's really, I think, just showing off how good this ability is, and thus why it's a lot more German players when they go for the commander with it, don't use it. Because it's good. Make no mistake. Coming forwards here. Sherman pulling back with its nice fancy Bulldozer Blades. 5th cal on the way there. Enforcing healing here. Puma arrives. Oh, I think he's going to try and take out the ambulance here. Yup. See there, F3rig desperately trying to get his ambulance to safety. My god, I can't believe they painted big red crosses on the side. It's like a target practice for the Germans. But that's a war crime. You think the Germans are concerned about that now? Oh. Women there being repaired. Fixing up the ambulance. South they could run around the point. Sherman. Scott on the way for F3rig for a bit of self-propelled artillery. And of course, there's another option the Americans have in terms of light artillery. On top of the mortar and the pack house, but obviously it's a bit later and also more fuel intensive. As for Spaget man, he's obviously going here for the command Panther, the Befehls Panzerkampfwagen 5. I'll definitely require from F3rig more anti-tank guns or a Jackson tank, so it's really match that. You could also just go for a bunch more Shermans, but my instincts are F3rig is probably not going to bother with that. But yeah, 8th level officer here. A formidable infantry squad at that point. It should basically get a 5-man Orbison squad with a really good assault rifle attached to it. Obviously, it takes some time to get to that whole 5-man Orbison squad. When you get there, it's really good. Jump raises forwards here. Gun engage that looks head on. Great shot there. Almost just needs one more and that looks to go down, but decides to disengage. Probably concerned about the Puma or any surprises like a mine, which could quickly leave his Sherman. Well, nothing but scrap metal. Another good push of effect across the front line, leaving Spaget Man once more reeling. As the someone just ran over all his spaghetti. Yep, come on, Panther out there for Spaget Man and the German army to defeat Panzerkampfwagen 5. Even boosting the Kubelwagen. There we go, though, marking the shown for death here. Going hard in with the Puma on the flank here. Definitely extend, but also Crow wasn't expecting the Command Panther. Puma flanking. Got a penetrating hit there. And might even get some anti-tank rifle needs off here, but it's not going to have to deal with the Panther here. 10 rushing in as well there. Luke's almost knocked out as well here. Anti-tank gun is far removed here. In fact, it's all the way up the end of the map practically. Got the Luke's here. Obviously not quite worth the trade-off there, but it at least, shall I say, minimizes the feel-bad elements losing the Sherman like that. Push forward, see, and there even uses target them. 2 thumbs up. Basically mark target, but for infantry. Pretty good stuff that too. That's just the Sturmoffizier as the Ralph squad here, backed up by artillery. Was pretty harsh there for F3rig. But he does have a Scott now. And Maggie is a bit more cautious with it now. There's a Command Panther on the field. Puma racing forward here. Veterans 1 very close, Veteran 2. Scott being bombarded. Panther engaging. Both misses though. Pretty lucky there for F3rig. Pretty lucky. Second anti-tank gun ready here. Got 279, 243, big 2 points. Wise is pretty close here between Spaget Man and F3rig. Panther's another shot. They're rifling over against the officer here. Quickly pushing him out of the premises once more pretty rapidly. Under fire from the anti-tank guns, but none of them are quite hitting the mark there, at least sufficiently to knock it out permanently. Sturmoffizier are doing what he can here, but he's taking a lot of punishment. Sturmpiner pushing in there with a Panzerstreck in tow here. The Raketen Panzerbüchse. Meine Herren. Command Panther there just snapping a bit away at a relatively safe distance. Of course, as soon as American anti-tank guns are enrolled, their safety becomes a bit more relative. Fifth go, they're stopping the Americans advancing any further. Scott, of course, is ready to assist here if it can hit. Meanwhile, Lightning gun is eventually full with troll kills. Puma's on the move here, gonna outmaneuver here. Pretty much all of F3rig's forces here. Anti-tank quick force reposition. Smoke deployed. Quick response there by Spaget Man. Kubagni, well, hasn't really done much since last. But it's still around though. I mean, really good work by Spaget Man keeping that Kubagni alive for so long, because most players at this point would have just thrown it away or forgotten about it. I guess also counts as having it thrown away, just in a slightly different manner. Land gun there near the ace level there. I mean, one option for F3rig is like either attacking through the south here or swing into attack through the north here. They're obviously attacking around here, we can run to the Schwerpunted quarters, but I think you need to be more wary about just taking head on here into Spaget Man. There you go, grenade assault. Only kills 1 soul though, so that's kind of lucky there for F3rig. And there you go, Scott knocked out as the Panther dives in, taking advantage of the terrain here, where F3rig had positioned most of the anti-tank guns. Not exactly great anti-tank gun terrain, as you might have noticed. And he's going for another Scott right now. I feel like that's not the greatest pick here. I mean, besides the Command Panthers of the Puma, I'd say those are both like pretty big priorities here for F3rig to deal with. And again, sure, the Scott is pretty good as infantry and support weapons, but like, unless he's got something that can actually properly screen either the Panther Puma for just going and knocking out the Scott like the Panther just did there, I think there's certainly an increased risk of just losing the Scott pretty quickly here, so definitely not what I'd recommend here. Again, overall, well played there by Spaget Man, good consistent use of his abilities there, in fact. North of the opponent being seized by the Sturmpioneer, Captain hiding all the way up here, admiring the boats. You know, before the war, I used to make boats. Shut up, Captain. Come on, Panther, running good about there. Troops are pressed up at that 50 cal. I mean, that 50 cal has just been a great steal here for Spaget, man. Scott firing away there. Quick kill there on F3rig. Up north, the captain falls back. Yeah, what F3rig is planning this is hard to say here. Straight to the academy for the Scott. Sturm obviously continues to be an excellent ass as well here for Spaget, man. Puma dives into the anti-tank gun. Scott desperately trying to get Lieutenant Bazooka fire as well here. Or he's trying to use it. Panther diving in here. It's Spaget, man, on the offense here. Almost got the Puma. Scott, there's a high risk getting knocked out here. There you go. Pop goes the Weasel. Puma, though, gets knocked out as well there. Gets hit in the ambulance. Again, anti-tank there. Forces away the command Panther. Still a Puma for a Scott. Considering the situation for Spaget, man, is not exactly a bad trade at all. Since he can just easily go for Panther 4 to back up his command Panther, whereas F3rig doesn't quite have that luxury under current circumstances. 5th cal being caught by a 50 cal and a lieutenant. We got 241 with 192. Kuhwagen rolling ahead here. Panther neat repairs. And another Scott from F3rig. I think at this point he may be considered like a Jackson or something, but he's a Sherman, but he seems really fixated on those Scots. And to some degree I can understand it, but it's just the way Spaget and currently, as you can see, they repeatedly can just drive after them and knock them out easily. Makes me really think F3rig should consider something else before the Scots at this point. Something else. Orbison squad here for Spaget, man. There you go, Panther 4 ready here for Spaget, man. Also known from nearby Panzer Division, as the 17th SS only had access to Stooks and Marders. They were supposed to have Jagdpanzers, but they actually didn't arrive in time. Would actually be used by another unit in part of the defense of Paris. Fun fact. Panther 4 diving in there. Engaging their F3rig forces by the centre, putting up a frenetic defence here. The victory point they just ceased from the Krauts. Rifle grenades being flung all over the place here. Scott fire joining again. Takes it almost the entire Sturmoffizier unit. North here, diving in from the northern fuel point there, flanking up behind the Americans. But there you go, Molotovs, concussive grenades being flung left and right here. Fulton squad about to get wiped out here, unless Spagetman gets very lucky. And he did. East 5th gun and German command there, definitely making things difficult there for F3rig. Southern victory point snug in there, but the Kugelwagen, 5th cal should definitely consider moving on that one, honestly. Got 229 on 87. Got the orbs on there ready. Guess he's going to go for the light machine gun rather than the inflict Sturmgewehrs. Panther setting out here, 5 kills close veterans you want. And again, as you might notice, straight for the Scott here, Mark Tides. Well, they're going to take this time was ready. Preserving this time around for once. The Scott cover to cover as well here. Though in this case, seems more like allow for a safe retreat here from the centre. A lot of anti-tank rifle grenades, hoping to stop that Panther, but without any damage dealt beforehand, it doesn't really matter, honestly. Now the Panther's just going to go after the Scott anyways, making use of the train here. F3rig is now just desperately trying to save the Scott here from the Panther. About to lose the foot squad here as well, but no, narrowly gets away. Scott, they're narrowly escaping the Panther in the end. Panther 4 diving in here. Another ambulance here for F3rig, as the one in the end did go up in flames here. 5th guy there in trouble with the Panther and the Panther 4, they're knocking at the door, the walls, and hoping to knock the entire thing down over their heads. Forcing F3rig to pull the 5th car there out in the open, where he then forgets about it, and so it sets up automatically to get wiped, possibly. Situation of F3rig is looking pretty rough here, and pretty dangerous. And to think of finding the Panther will deal some damage. Got troops on the centre here. We got 220,060. Enemy got radius silence. Follow up here with a push on the anti-tank and see F3rig looks on the anti-tank and leaving them unsupported. He is calling in smoke here, but it is not enough here. So I think in this case, might even be using it to use it as a sprint ability. But nope, there we go. Both anti-tank guns gone over that. F3rig is pretty much there in the water, lacking any way of dealing with the enemy tanks then. GG game over here. Victory for Spaget Man. A loss of F3rig. It's definitely an unusual match, which I think in part might have tested F3rig a bit there because, like, you know, Luke's Puma like that plus another Puma is definitely, you know, bit out of the usual, and F3rig, of course, might have slightly struggled with that, but at the same time, tactically, I feel like F3rig really would have benefited from light artillery earlier. I think they've done a lot of good for him here versus Spaget Man, plus maybe some weapon racks, honestly. But there you go. That said, of course, I think also Spaget Man's just really good to use his commander. In fact, I think he almost went for everything except the Infrared Sturmgewehr. So he was actually closer than bingo there, which is certainly impressive as well. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed this match. I hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, share, comment on it. Tell a friend, tell a family, but don't tell enemies. This is Imperial Links in Tears. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow again for another episode. Bye.